Hello and welcome to another beautiful edition of the Locker Room on Voice of the People Television. I am Jerry High, and we've got a thrilling show for you today. It promises to be exciting as we explain all what is happening in the football world. And the usual suspect joins me talking about the Ikechukwu, who's been getting the tongue lashing since yesterday's show all about Victor Osimhen. And of course, Mayowa, though you didn't get much, but you still got some strokes. But it is the business of talking as far as the football, the passion is concerned. We understand that you're passionate, but we advise that you keep it civil because at the end of the day, we're just saying it the way it is. Because I, or Ikechukwu or Maiwa, are not saying what is not really in circulation. We're talking about Gary Lineker made this comment. We also talk about Antonio Conte, also made the comment about Victor Osimhen. And the video where he talked about Finidi George's online is out there. But I think Nigeria has descended to a state where no matter how wrong somebody does something, people will surely find a way to defend the person. We have thrown morality out the door in the bed of psychophancy or fanaticism or one kind of, I don't know where this came from, but I hope we get out of it on the long run, but it is what it is. But we are here to do the business that that brought us here, and of course, no sugarcoating. We say it the way it is and the way we feel it should be the moral standard and what is obtainable as journalists to be able to see things clearly, analyze them the way it is, and of course, profile solutions and the way forward. But of course, it's all the action. Don't forget, those who are watching us on YouTube, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never get to miss an episode of the Locker Room. And don't forget, you can call us live on the show via the WhatsApp number showing on your screen to join the conversation. Ikechukwu, once again, you got a lot of lashes. I think I can't even read those comments. Personally, they're not really good. But it is what it is. Ikechukwu, we're here again.
Well, Jerry, good evening and good evening to our viewers. It's actually not new, and
yeah, we're used to that.
I expect to actually get to see things like this in coming years if something is not done. There's a direct relationship between poverty and poor brain development. Yes,
yeah.
Because when you're poor, you look for a way to survive, and when you start looking for a way to survive, you throw morality out of the window, and what it means is that you just be, anybody's dog because you want to survive. So basically, this sort of things is actually not new. I understand where they are coming from, and I mean, no harm to Victor Osimhen. Osimhen is actually in Nigeria. He's made a lot of us happy. He's scored, crucial goals for us. But it's not going to change anything when we actually see something that's very important to actually talk about it. We're not going to look at the reaction of people who perhaps get crumbs from him to, sugarcoat, like you rightly said, what we're supposed to say. So it's one of those days. It's one of those things you get when you actually talk, when you actually face the fact as exactly the way it is. You call a spade before calling it a farm equipment. So I'm not bothered about it. For me, it's actually humor. And it makes me understand that, okay, what I'm actually doing is actually right. Because if nobody talks about you, then of course you're nobody. So it's a good way to start this very conversation. And the Locker Room show today is going to be more interesting than we had it yesterday, Jerry.
All right. So Mayowa, I know you're excited. Senegal has chosen you ahead of Newcastle United. How has the mighty fallen? You are excited that they chose Man United. On a good day, Man United should not be dragging the player with Newcastle United.
Stop doing this, Jerry.
No.
Show respect.
Yeah, a Chelsea fan. What's your own now?
It took you over 30 years to get to 20.
Are you not a Chelsea fan? What's your own now? Have you gone back to the trenches? Let me know so that I will know how to address you properly.
No, talk to Mayowa.
I'm talking to you. Right. Welcome. You're welcome to Locker Room.
How the mighty has fallen. It's an era. We are in our struggle era at Manchester United. That is what goes into poor management. After Alex Ferguson left, even before Alex Ferguson left, there has been poor management, and we are seeing the result. Things do not just get bad one day, things get bad over time. Now to address, I saw a couple of comments and it makes me laugh. I wonder why everybody is on Ikechukwu's case. Yes, I got some few jabs, but the bottom line is this: we will not continue. We will not stop speaking the truth. The truth has to be said. Nigerians encourage the bad behavior of Victor Osimhen. Even the sports minister encouraged it. As far as I'm concerned, Victor Osimhen is a Nigerian. I support him. He has done so well for himself. But he was not supposed to be part of our national team for the next 6-7 months because of what he did to Finidi George. And has never apologized. And we are seeing the ripple effect of that action. The bottom line is this: people can get angry all they want, but the truth does not have any other name than the truth. And if you are in this space, I've been in this space for almost 20 years now, and it's part of what comes with the trade. If you are bold enough to speak up publicly, you should be bold enough to receive the backlash. And it's all fine and fun. The bottom line is this: the truth has to be said, no matter no matter who is involved. The truth has just to be said, and that's just it. It's always an amazing time to talk football. Let's speak about football today. Thank you for having me, Jerry.
All right, let's speak about football. And of course, your darling home-based Eagles definitely is in the spotlight. And I remember how I almost got some lashes from Ikechukwu. I think Bing Koboko was available in the studio. I think he would have given me some stroke that these guys should be persecuting the World Cup qualifiers. And of course, just their first assignment, after all the talk that they are going for the $100,000, they would do everything possible to emulate the Tigers and the Falcons. Is this how the Super Falcons started? The head coach of the senior national team, Eric Chelle, I think he should find his way out of Tanzania before these guys will destroy the CV he's just managing, because they lost to Senegal by a goal to nil, though a respectable scoreline, but let's call it what it is. It shows that there's already cracks, and we don't know where it might crack next, because 2 more games and they might be on their way back home. But I'm being positive that in their next 2 games they will do the needful. But that being said, what went wrong with your darling home-based Eagles?
Nothing actually went wrong.
Okay.
The team actually gave a good account of themselves. I saw the philosophy of the coach in the players. They actually pressed. They actually did the only.
They didn't press enough.
No, they actually did very well. The only problem that I noticed yesterday was the third ball, the final third ball to the attackers. And I think that happened. It comes like that in first games in every tournament. Jerry, you're looking at this team. I mean, it was a terrible mistake from the goalkeeper that cost us the goal. The goalkeeper had no business to be at that position where he actually got to, to actually clear the lines. And unfortunately, the attacker just moved the ball towards the free man, and then that's how the goal. I think it reminded me of the goal we considered. I think it was against Tunisia or Morocco in 2004 Nations Cup, where I think Isaac Okoronkwo collided with Ike Sheromu in that particular game. I cannot remember the scenario, but that's exactly where this sort of incident happened. But you're talking about this team because it's the first match, and we all remember in this same football world that we are in just about 3 years ago, when the World Cup was held in Qatar. Argentina lost their first game, coming off over 30 game unbeaten run, 2-0 to Saudi Arabia. I mean, the Super Eagles lost to Senegal. They are the defending champion of CHAN. So if you can actually cut... Okay. No, Jerry.
Yeah, the new Argentina.
No, Jerry.
Of CHAN.
First game... No. Jerry, what I'm saying is...
If Argentina can do it.
No, Jerry. I'm saying...
Yes, that's the word now.
No. Okay. I'm saying... No, Jerry,
I want to borrow you.
No, don't borrow me. I know what to say. Okay. I'm saying you can have a first bad game in the tournament and end up, making it to the final and even winning the championship.
Yeah.
France also struggled in their first game in 2006 World Cup.
Yes.
And they got to the final and they lost narrowly to Italy on penalty shootout. Narrowly. And of course, they would have won it if Zidane kept his head cool. Okay. So Jerry,
at least there's Zidane in that team now.
What I'm saying is, first game does not decide. Who
they have Messi quality in the team now.
That's the entire team. Jerry, we're talking about a team. No, we are talking about a team that came off over 30 games unbeaten. We're talking about a team that qualified with a couple of games left for the World Cup. We are talking about a team that yes, they might not have all of the superstars before the World Cup, but we know that they're a very good team. They've won the World Cup on 2 occasions against the Saudi Arabian side. If they had lost that first game to the European side, we would have said, okay, perhaps. Against the Saudi Arabian side that is nowhere near the first 50 in world football. And you're comparing that situation with a side that, you know, are the defending champion in this particular championship, and Nigeria lost to them narrowly. In fact, not even just because they created the chance to get the goal. It was because our goalkeeper committed a very terrible. In fact, that's even worse than a schoolboy error. So give it to them. Yes, I mean Senegal actually also did very well in that particular game, but this is not a game that you can actually use to, you know, decide the fate of the Super Eagles in this particular tournament. I saw that game live yesterday, and I must say it's the very first time I saw, you know, Nigeria playing in an exciting way. So I still believe that a good number of them can actually.
So that's exciting to you.
No, see, Jerry, wow. Jerry, home base Eagles.
I think I will recommend you for campaign. 2027 is around the corner. So you use this talent very well. Yeah, so Jerry, I don't know, but the Super Falcons will play badly, and this Chinese Eagles are playing well.
The Super Falcons struggle to control ball, Jerry. No, we saw their first 2 games. They were complaining it was terrible.
And this team is going to get $100,000. They're still going to win the competition.
It's the first game. The first game cannot decide anything. That's what
I think we have heard enough a lot from the politician. Anyway, let's hear from the analyst. What happened to the Chinese Eagles? Okay.
Well, I mean, Ikechukwu said something that's very, very important, and the actually needs to correct that. The final third is very poor, especially in that particular game. Mistake happens. You know, the schoolboy error from the goalkeeper. I mean, I want to say probably maybe first game jitters got to him, and that's the reason for that. However, if they want to stand a chance about, you know, going further in that particular competition, there is a need for the guys up front to do way, way better. Is that the end of the road for them? No. I don't think they performed up to expectation. Yes, they played the defending champion. However, I would have expected their level of performance to be way more than what we see. It's not as if they played that terribly, but I would have expected more from them. That's number one. Number two, I think Ikechukwu said something that is also very, very correct. Because the last Nations Cup Nigeria won, we didn't do well in our first game against Burkina Faso. And we ended up playing Burkina Faso again, and we defeated Burkina Faso to win that particular tournament. And, you know, after that first game, we saw improvement in that particular team. I think we should cut them a bit of a slack. It's just the first game. And it's not as if they lost badly. They lost because of a mistake of the goalkeeper. And, you know, that's sometimes that happens in football. But I think as the competition goes on, I want to see how Chelsea, you know, respond tactically, how the team responds to what Chelsea is putting out. Because, I mean, this is also an avenue for us to be able to see what Chelsea can do for us as a coach. I mean, they are in a tight corner now. A whole lot of people are expecting a whole lot of things from them. This is time for them to step up to be able to do it. On the part where, you know, saying they can, we are advocating for them to be part of the national team. The fact is because they lost that game does not mean, you know, one or two of them should not be part of the national team. I think we should make it part of our culture that at least the team B of the Super Eagles, 3-4 of them should be a mainstay of the Super Eagles. That is how, you know, our football will grow. That's how we stop the over-reliance on foreign-born players. But I will cut them some slack. It's just the first game. I'm still hopeful that they will get to the final. I'm looking at what Chelsea will be able to do in the second and the third game for us to see if, you know, they have done, for us to appraise them properly, if they have done so well, or probably we need to start shopping for other players that could come for their replacement.
All right, John. Come on, so taking a look at the starting 11, we have talking about Ismaila, who has been part of the main team, and he played in the qualifier, no, in the friendly, the Unity Cup,
yes,
where he had an assist. And there's also Unduka, who's the captain. He was also invited. And there's also Mustafa, who has also got some invites as well. They all started in that game. I'm not seeing your Papa Daniel. Okay, Mustafa was also part of the team, but he did not start. And but taking a look at this starting 11 and with what we expect. Anyway, you said that politically they might not win their first game. They might do the Argentina. and go ahead and win it. I wait to see how that happens, because I saw the two friendlies they played prior to this game against Senegal. It was a no-show. 2 draws over the same team before they played this one and lost. So even the RNG friendlies they played back home, it was just, let my people go. Let's just freshen up and get ready. This is big time business. If the home basic goods are not ready to step up, other countries see the CHAN competition as an avenue to sell themselves. And if these players cannot take advantage of the opportunity, I think nobody will be held responsible. And the fact that Eric Chelle has made himself available, I think that alone shows that he takes this opportunity of coaching these boys seriously. And I think whatever happens to them, nobody should hold him responsible, because he has made himself available, monitored these guys, and given what he can. Let's not forget, when he said that these guys could not measure up in terms of the pressing and so on and so forth, everybody was saying, why should he say that about the home basic goods? At least we are seeing them. The world is seeing them. We'll wait for the next game. Anyway, it's not far enough.
Yeah, the majority of that game, the Super Eagles had the Senegalese in their own half.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
so yeah, I know you're sounding like this because it was they lost 3 points.
They're as good as your result. I don't even, if you like do Messi and Ronaldo for 90 minutes and you don't win. So what's the essence?
So these guys actually had a good game. They had a good game. Yes, they had a good game. It was a good game.
Okay.
But I mean, the error was unnecessary. The goalkeeper I don't know what he was thinking, but it's just one of those things that happens in football games. And this is why I'm not going to actually blame these guys. Going to these remaining games against Sudan, at least that's going to be our next game. I definitely hope that the guys should definitely bounce back to win that particular game. And then when they win that particular game, we can have a conversation about how they are faring. I know you perhaps just waiting for this to happen. That's exactly why you are sounding the way you are sounding, because you don't even trust that they have the quality to actually make it into the Super Eagles. And it's so unfortunate, Jerry.
I can't put my 5 kobo on this team in their next match. If I give you $1 million to enjoy yourself, or you use it to bet on this team to win this CHAN, would you even dare? Even their next game, would you dare to put that money instead of using it to flex yourself?
$1 million.
Yes.
I cannot bet it on any football team.
Okay, gbagbe.
I cannot bet it on any football team.
Gbagbe. Just leave this matter. Let's not even drag it. This team, they are not. Anyway, we'll wait for the next match, and hopefully they'll get the result. I think they have Botswana in their next game.
Sudan is the next game.
Sudan is the next game. Anyway, Sudan is a strong team. They have a stronger league than the NPFL, and I think they are going to give the Super Eagles Team B a run for their money. We'll wait and see. Anyway, over to Maduka Okoye. It's no longer news that he's going to be suffering a ban for 2 months, and that means he will not be eligible to play for the senior national team of Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers, following confirmation by his team that he will be out of competitive football for a period of 2 months due to a ban. Prosecutors allege that the goalkeeper deliberately got booked late into the game owing to betting patterns from a province of Udine, where he resides, on him getting a second yellow card. He went to the court, and according to his statement by Udinese, he was excluded from any sporting fraud but given a 2-month ban for another offense totally unrelated to fixing a game. So we'll have to start shopping for options as far as the number 2 to Stanley Nwabali is concerned. I know Francis Zoe is out of the picture, and I don't know. The home base Eagles, is it that goalkeeper that this schoolboy error? I hope not, because if anything happens to Stanley Nwabali, and that guy is to keep against South Africa. See, I will just go underground. I will lock myself. All music I'll be playing, so that I will not have anything to do about in that match. So it's over to you. I think maybe you know some goalkeepers who are better.
Well, September is still quite far. The league will be.
This is August.
I know the league will be on already.
August is already on 6 days.
The league will be on already. and there's still chance. I think we have another goalkeeper, this Nigerian-born German goalkeeper also Atulebu, right? So I mean,
as if he's ready to play.
Yes, I mean it depends on between now and September is quite far, right? I just hope that Nwabali stays fit. It's just 2 games. Nigeria, South Africa, and Nigeria against Rwanda, right? Just 2 games, and then Maduka Okoye will be back. I just hope, I was wishing that he will be around, he will be available so that he can actually, even if one of those 2 games, because I know he's a top goalkeeper, he's just not had it, good with the Super Eagles. But I mean, we can also still look at other goalkeepers in the league. It doesn't matter. I mean, making a schoolboy error does not, make you a terrible goalkeeper. We've seen, good goalkeepers also make terrible errors. Right? So this is not going to be the first time we're seeing it. If you made this.
See.
Jerry,
see,
a good goalkeeper can make error. One game cannot define your career.
Onana is a good goalkeeper.
Alisson
is a good goalkeeper. But the difference is your consistency in errors.
So are you saying this goalkeeper's error is consistent?
And national team football doesn't give you opportunity to correct errors. If you make one, it's liable to cost you. And I don't want you to give me any instances of telling me that if Stanley Nwabali is injured because Mustafa just made more error, I should now go and put him in goal against South Africa. I think you are asking for a lot of people to stay glued to their BP drugs when they are watching the South African game. That you should just do a national broadcast that those who have BP should not watch the Super Eagles versus South African game, because any shot or target is guaranteed 50-50 vibes and inshallah. So I don't want to be in that situation. Let's not forget, Francis Uzo considered a goal against Thomas Partey. Remember, the World Cup qualifier, you know what happened? It was just, he was jittery. It was not that he's not a good goalkeeper, but that loss of concentration cost him and cost us the chance of going to the World Cup. We are in another situation now. Because we might be looking at this as a joke. If anything happens to Nwabali, we are going to be in deep trouble. Serious trouble. That's the reality. And we are facing a cracker, a do or die match. That South African game is going to be as difficult as an AFCON final. You don't know what's at stake. 3 points have been deserved for South Africa. South Africa will do everything possible. And they will have the information. And let's not forget, Nwabali is in South Africa. I hope they will. He should be watching what he drinks and eats this August. Yes! As funny as it is, he should be watching his back. And he should be watching the tackles. If I were him, and if I were the NFF, I would say, how much are they going to be paying you for the next 6 months, 2 months? Don't worry, the government will talk to them. Let them pay him. He should give the club excuse that he's sick. So he will come back home and be resting and be training the NPFL. Or he will go to the Chan team and be training behind the scene. Because you cannot trust the South Africans. Because they don't even travel to Nwabali. We are in deep trouble. Maduka Okoye is not available. Zoe is not reliable. Mustafa is already showing us what to expect.
The Emba goalkeeper is supposed to be the first choice of the Chan Eagles. Okay. Right? I hope he
has what it takes.
No, he's the first choice of the Chan Eagles.
Yeah, and we know what happened to Emba last season.
Jerry doesn't see.
What happened to the first choice of Remo Stars?
Okay. Liverpool.
The Remo Stars goalkeeper, I think he's not Nigerian. I think
he's from Benin Republic.
Yes. Okay. The second choice, I think he was invited.
Second choice is Bankole. No, I think Bankole is even the third choice. But aside, Jerry, you can have a good goalkeeper, but struggle to win championship.
Okay.
So the fact that your team doesn't win championship does not make you a terrible goalkeeper.
Okay.
How many years did Liverpool wait before you won the EPL? After you won 2019.
In those years, we win FA Cup, we won Champions League.
After you won the.
With Jersey.
No, you won. No, I said how many years did Liverpool wait after winning the Premier League in 2019 before you won this one again? That's what I'm asking.
In 2019, before they won this one.
Yes. How many years did you?
I think it was 3 years or 4 years, if I'm correct.
So within that 4 years, is it fair to say Alisson is not a good goalkeeper? Because you fail to land any major.
Is that the contest here?
Yeah, but you're talking about what happened to Imba. That's what I'm saying. That the fact that Imba has not won a major title in space of 2 years does not make the goalkeeper a terrible goalkeeper.
Goalkeepers are rated based on their performance. First of all, if the season is over, it doesn't matter whether your team wins the league or not. We rate how many goals you conceded, how many clean sheets did you have.
And Alisson did not win best goalkeeper all through that period.
Yeah, he did not win the best goalkeeper.
But it doesn't make him. We all know that in Premier League he still has the quality to be at least the number one.
You know what? You are insulting Alisson.
No, I'm trying to.
This is an insult because you're talking Mustafa, a Charlie Eagles goalkeeper.
No, I'm talking about the aimback goalkeeper, Jerry. I'm talking about the
aimback goalkeeper now. And you're bringing Alisson.
Yes, I'm bringing Alisson.
The Brazil #1 as an example. This insult is too much.
Because it's Liverpool.
This is no. You can bring Onana into the conversation.
No, I'm not bringing Onana. I'm bringing
agree with you
because you are trying to tie goalkeepers' words to their team winning championship. Okay, that's what you're doing.
You cannot use Onana because he ended up 16 last season, right?
Jerry, you are trying to tie.
Let's use Chelle'S for instance, the goalkeeper of Nottingham Forest last season.
Jerry, you are trying to.
Wait, calm down now. He was awesome last season. The goalkeeper of Nottingham Forest, Chelle'S. I remember over our 2 games, he had massive saves. And of course, he had more clean sheets than a lot of top goalkeepers in the top 4 last season. That's a top quality goalkeeper. You rate him based on that. But how many clean sheets did the Aimba goalkeeper have last season? Was he phenomenal? Was he among the best goalkeepers?
If he wasn't the best goalkeeper, he wouldn't be Chan #1. That's what I'm saying. It's just like the Premier League.
What happened? He did not start yesterday.
I think he's injured or something. But what I'm saying is, Jerry, you cannot tie a goalkeeper's words. That's my point. You cannot tie a goalkeeper's words.
So you'll be confident if Mustafa is in goal. If anything was to
Jerry, that's just an error. Anybody can make an error.
No, that's the answer now. Answer me. Mayowa.
Why would I be confident?
Hey, this matter we wear trouser.
Okay, Jerry. Jerry, okay, before
for them to start comparing.
The Nations Cup last year.
Before you start bringing Mustafa.
No, Jerry, wait.
Conversation. You now brought.
No, Jerry, wait.
Almighty Alisson.
Wait, Jerry.
The Premier League #1 goalkeeper last season.
Jerry, wait. The Nations Cup last year in Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay.
Before our first game, do you have any confidence when you saw Stanley Nwabali in goal? Be very honest.
Yes, I'm very, very honest. 100%.
Where did you see him?
He starts in the South African League prior to that game. Made me understand that he's a top goalkeeper that can hold his own. That is why he's #1 there. Yes.
Jerry.
He had a fantastic season in the South African League. What are we saying? Yes.
Jerry.
He has a good season before he got this. Nobody raised a fuss.
So
even people were confident that even ahead of Maduka Okoye, nobody raised a fuss. They say give him a chance. And he proved himself.
Jerry.
You cannot equate that to Aimba goalkeeper and Mustafa.
Jerry.
South Africa. But Jerry.
Yes.
But Jerry, we have to understand something. Because Mustafa made a mistake, does not make him a bad goalkeeper.
No, I didn't say it's a bad goalkeeper.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying the confidence is not there anymore. For me, you're as good as your last game. That's it. All right, we have a caller. Hello, you're welcome to. All right, let's take this from Tarid.
This is from US, from Chicago, Tarid.
All right, Tarid, great to have you.
Yeah, good to be here too. I just want to add a little bit to what you guys are saying.
Okay.
I think what I heard from the Italy, I heard that it's only Italy that the band can possibly only because I spoke to one of my friends. He said they free him for international game, but not Italy.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Okay,
so I don't know. I mean, it's your job. Maybe you guys can.
Okay, that he might be available internationally, but not be able to play in Italy. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what I hear, but I don't know.
We'll still verify that too, because sources will get that he might not be available. The ban will spread internationally as well.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, God will help Nigeria.
Amen. Amen. Sorry. That says it all. I don't even need to go far. Tarid is worried. Right, over to you.
I mean, the response of Tarid is an indication that they don't have confidence in the goalkeeper. But let's be very fair to the goalkeeper. Top goalkeepers make mistake. Mustafa made the mistake yesterday. We should not write him off. I think we made the same mistake, and that cost us about 4 or 5 years looking for a stable goalkeeper. Maduka Okoye made the mistake at the 2019 Nations Cup, if I'm not mistaken, and after that, he was kicked out of the national team. Francis Uzoho was given him multiple chances. He made multiple mistakes as a national team goalkeeper, and that was the reason why he was kicked out of the national team. I think we should cut Mustafa some slack. That's number one. Number two, if Mustafa does not cut it, we have other 19 goalkeepers, starter goalkeepers, apart from the goalkeeper from Remo, who is not a Nigerian. We have other 18 goalkeepers that are Nigerian. We should be able to get one person that will be able to deputize for, Francis Uzoho. That is the job of Chel. And also, it's part of the Chanigu. I think he should also be thinking about that to find, a replacement for Chel. As for Okoye, in as much as what Starry said might be right, I don't want us to toy with anything that would, make us lose points for games. It's rather we just avoid Maduka Okoye for the next 2-3 months so that we don't feature him and somebody will go and raise an eyebrow later, and because of some technicality, because of the ban, we are feeding an illegible player and points will be deducted. For us to avoid that, we are in the precarious situation already. For us to avoid that, it's better we leave Maduka Okoye out and sort our goalkeeper issue. But as for me, I think we should just give Mustafa a chance. The CHAN tournament continues, and we have ample time to be able to assess his performance to see if he's worthy enough to be in the World Cup team. And if not, we can always look for other players. But I think we should cut him some slack. It's just the first game. Top goalkeepers make mistakes, and we should just see his performance in the next 2 games. Then we can come back and assess him, based on his performance.
I think I have the issue of this mention of top goalkeepers. Please, let's respect top goalkeepers.
Top goalkeeper in the context
Barthez
of
made a lot of error. Barthez made a lot of error, Jerry.
Let's leave top goalkeepers. He has not got to that. That's the same mistake.
No. You mean they'll get to the top and they'll
yes, I know.
Are you saying they'll get to the top before they start making mistakes?
And you understand, Man United, it's been a long time you saw top goalkeeper. So that top goalkeeper contest is allowed to be,
Ederson makes series of mistakes for Man City.
I understand the issues of top goalkeeper. The last one you saw, you are still suffering from it. Onana is still the top goalkeeper you have. So I understand, but let's respect that word, top goalkeeper. This guy is just starting. He's just a first game. Let's see
you're talking. It's just his first game. Why are you trying to crucify him?
Using that top goalkeeper.
No, you're trying to crucify him after his first game.
There's something about that top goalkeeper I'm not comfortable with.
In the context of Chanigu, he's a top goalkeeper. That's why he's number 1. If he's not better than those on the bench, they will put him on the bench and field those people. So I think in the context of Chanigu, he's number 1.
Okay, Maiwa, I rest my case. Anyway, let's talk about the saga going on in the Italian Serie A, and it concerns the current African footballer of the year, Ademola Lookman. And of course, the saga goes on over the transfer of the young man who wants to move to Inter Milan from Atlanta. The issue has taken a whole new dimension, according to reports in Italy. The Nigerian has made it known that he wants to leave the club for Inter, but he hasn't gotten his wish despite a bid of 40 million euros plus another 5 million euros in add-ons. The bid was rejected by Atlanta, who insist they have a pact with the Nigerian that he won't join another team in Italy. And Lookman released a statement confirming that he has handed a transfer request, and since then he hasn't shown up in training. And for 2 days now, he didn't turn up for a personal training routine with the club's coach, and Atlanta are now saying they have no knowledge of his whereabouts and have alerted the authorities. But recent reports say he has left the city of Bergamo owing to his disappointment at the management of Atlanta. Pretty difficult situation for the young man.
Well, truth be told, I really feel sorry for him because he's a very level-headed player. But this is not the right way to go about it. 2 wrongs don't make a right. you have a case or you think you have a case, this is not the way you go about it. You don't go on people who are actually paying you. That's also a breach of contract. And I think he should really sit down with people who he listens to, let them really advise him properly. I hope he has, wise counsel or wise men, in his corner that can actually really talk sense into his head. Because you don't leave, your team. Your contract is still very much running with Atlanta, and anything you do at this point is going to also be an infraction, on that particular contract that you're holding. So the best thing he should have done, since he believed that there was an agreement that was broken, like we established yesterday, move to CAS, take it to the Italian FA, let them see, what's your claim, and then let's put this to bed instead of, just clearing your locker and disappearing. It's really unfair, and this is where you have a very good case and then you just throw it away. I think he should really approach this with caution. Let him go back to his club side, meet with his agent and his lawyer, let them iron things out. I think there is no matter how terrible a situation is, it can actually be resolved by having a sitting conversation. Sit with the club side, have a proper conversation, tell them exactly what you want. This is exactly what you have. And if they refuse, approach it legally. So if you think you have a case, this is not the way you go about it. It's becoming so terrible and it's going to be putting himself in bad light at this point. This is not what he should be doing. I really don't expect it from him. If it's his own decision that he decides to actually move, I think he should rethink it. If it is not his decision and people are advising him to take this route, I think they are actually advising him very, very badly.
All right, Maiwa, I think the man would have considered a lot of options before making this move, and it's a really difficult one. Yeah.
First of all, I think this move is a wrong move. If actually that's the move he's making, I think it's a very wrong move. Let's break down the contract. Atlanta came out and said they have a pact with him that they will not sell him to another club in Italy. That's number one. Number two, you can ask anybody, any football agent, they will tell you it's always in the contract. Most clubs, they tend to sell players when they feel they will make more money. But the moment you sign a contract, the club has every right not to sell you, even if they have a suitor that wants to pay 200 million. If they don't want to sell you and want you to run your contract down, even at their own loss, they have every right to do it. The bottom line is this, and that's the reason why I feel Ademola Lookman is making a mistake with this move. The bottom line is this: he is still contracted to Atlanta, and as such, he is obligated to show up to training camp, to play, and to represent Atlanta to the best of his ability based on the contract he has with them. Yes, what Atlanta might be saying might be hurtful, and I pity him. He's in a quagmire, he's in a very terrible situation. He wants to leave, and he has every right to want to leave. However, I should not forget that he signed the contract. So, clearing out his locker, going a wall, and the rest of that does not solve it. If it goes that route, Atlanta will end up winning in court because the contracts are very clear. So I think Ademola Lookman should take a step. This is not the right way to go about it. If he feels he has a case and he wants to go to court of arbitration, he's very right to do that. But going through this route empowers Atlanta to be able to punish him further and to drag this saga further. Also remember, other clubs are watching. We just discussed the issue of Osimhen yesterday. Other clubs are watching. Is this how you are going to handle every small dispute you have with your club, or maybe even huge dispute you have with your club? The next thing you do is you don't want to play anymore. That is also telling on his image. I think if this is what he wants to do, that is not the right move. He paints a very bad picture of him, and he also paints a very bad picture of Africa. And the reason for that is this: is the current holder of the best player in Africa. Is this how our best players behave in Africa? That creates a narrative. I think Ademola Lookman should be careful. He should not address it this way. He should be in Atlanta and fight his case in court.
All right. He should be in Atlanta and fight his case in court. All right. We'll see how that pans out. But is it a different situation for Eddie Howe, who has stood firm on his stance over Alexander Isak's conduct after excluding the one-away striker from training and a family day with the Newcastle squad? The striker who wants to join Liverpool has been told to report to the training ground later on Wednesday after a special team building lunch involving the players and their families has finished. And of course, how said formally on Sunday night in Korea that Isak must earn the right to train with the group in light of acting poorly. Isak did not tell his manager he was flying to Spain last week to use the training facilities at his former club Reds to say that. And before that, the Owl Swede had ruled himself out of the club's Far East tour when he walked out of training, citing a thigh injury. It looks like it's a difficult situation for most players at the moment. And of course, for Isak, I don't know. Liverpool has shown that they're not willing to pay that much money, as much as £150 million. And they've taken 110. And I think it's a messy situation for Isak right now.
It's sad, and it seems to be happening to attackers only in this particular
because
time.
of their value anyway.
Yes, and I questioned first why Liverpool be paying over 100 for Alexander Isak, but then I looked at the fact that he's got quality, but he's really not shown any sign of winning something big individually. So, but then I also look back, and of course the market is so inflated at this point. So for a player like Isak, who did very well last season, I think it should be. But players don't get this opportunity all the time. This big move don't come all the time, and that is like when it comes, they want to actually do everything to actually make the move. And it's sad. I just hope that they can actually have something, perhaps shift ground. If it's a case of the club side have actually met my release clause, and then they should allow him go. But if Liverpool is yet to actually meet the release clause of Alexander Isak, then that's definitely going to be where the problem is. I think it was today or yesterday where Carragher was talking about the 150 million pounds, but advising Liverpool against it, that it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense, But Alexander Isak is going to be a valuable addition. Liverpool is also looking at also pushing out Nunes. Perhaps if that sale actually happens in the next 48 hours, then they should be able to have more money to actually spend on Isak. I mean, Liverpool is nearby by Jebu, so you have the money, you can spend it anyhow you like.
Even apart from being Baba Jebu, if you take a look at their net spend, it's still decent.
Don't tell me net spend, you are spending your Baba Jebu. Don't worry.
At least they've sold players, and if the amount of players they've sold in comparison to players they're trying to replace, let's not forget, Luis Diaz has left the club. Diogo Jota just passed on.
You didn't say Jota. Jota just passed on. So.
Yeah, he passed on. It's a vacuum, whether they like it or not. He's an important player.
No, you're talking about players net sales, so you don't have to mention Jota.
No, I'm saying that there are spaces in the team they need to fill.
Space, I agree.
Yeah, and Luis Diaz just left. Down Nunes on his way out. So they need even two strikers, not even one.
You have Gakpo.
Gakpo is a winger most of the time. He plays from the left. And we only have a Kitike.
You have Elliott.
Come on. We are not, this is not my United Academy now. We're not talking about Chelsea Academy. We are talking about the Premier League champions. Or you forgot. I think maybe you have forgot. I should remind you. We are talking about the current Premier League champions. And they need to play like champions going into the league season. Mariwa, for Isak, a subsequent scan, however, showed that he was not injured, meaning that it was all antics on his part. But does it look like Isak is going to somehow have his way before the season starts?
I think players need to be very careful. There is no reason to be playing prank. I think Newcastle is a willing seller. They are not ready to hold on to him. I mean, he has about 1 year left on his contract, and they don't want to lose money. They bought him for, I think, 50 million, and they want to sell him for over 120 million, and that's about net profit of 70 million, which is a good business for them. He has no reason to be faking injury and causing discord. The moment the contract is not signed yet, the moment the amount has not been paid yet, you are still a player of your parents' club. I don't understand why players behave like this. And I think for me personally, Shondak is very correct. You have to earn your you have to earn your way back into the team. That's very disrespectful to the team, and it lacks sportsmanship, and it just reeks of selfishness, which is not good. So he has to earn his way back into the team. I want him to train separately and understand the gravity of what he has done. Then, if Liverpool is ready to pay, if they meet the release clause, then he can leave. I don't understand why players behave like that. He's just trying to create a bad environment for himself, and he also forgot that if the deal falls through and it doesn't go through, he will have the fans to contend with because they already know he's doing this because of money. Obviously, if he's joined for 120 million, he's going to get more pay, and that's the reason why he's behaving like that. I don't think Isak has done this correctly. It is wrong of him. He's still contracted to Newcastle, and he should go ahead and continue to play for Newcastle. For Liverpool, they are going to sell more players, and it's an avenue for them to bring in somebody that will be able to do the job. I mean, if you look at the striking force, apart from a Mo Salah, who is a proven striker, and Navi Elliott cannot do it. And like you rightly said, I hate to admit it, we are not talking about academy. We are actually talking about, a Premier League champion that wants to compete next season. And a striker in the class of Isak will be a good addition to the team. So I think it's just a matter of days. But Isak needs to behave professionally. What he's doing right now is wrong. And I think Newcastle has every right to be angry with him and ostracize him from the team.
So Jerry, basically, right, the downside to what Isak is doing is the fact that he's got the bargaining chip, but he's failed to realize it. Now, Newcastle will not want to allow him go, free transfer next season. He would have just stayed calm, act like nothing is happening, face his business, and tell Newcastle, I want this move. But don't press it. But don't sign new contract. Now, when Newcastle sees that this guy is not willing to sign a new contract and they've seen the quality he's got, they'll be forced to actually come to the negotiation table with him. Many of these players and the agent lack the act of negotiation. You have that bargaining chip at this point. Have that conversation and you force Liverpool, Newcastle's hand to actually say, okay, you know what? This guy is not willing to sign a new contract. Let's allow him go. And that's exactly what would have happened. But then acting like this sort of antics is actually not helpful. But I mean, they're all human, so it's likely we expect this sort of error from people. People are bound to make mistakes.
All right, people are bound to make mistakes. And I think it's all about the guy. He's also a fan. He's a fan of Liverpool. He's always shown that he's a fan of Liverpool. And for Isak, he's always proven to be a cool-headed player. Apart from his days from Real Sociedad, he's not proven to be a troublesome player. I think he's not really happy the fact that Liverpool is showing interest in signing him. He actually wanted to join Liverpool until Liverpool made the decision to sign Darwin Núñez, which was by far one of the biggest mistakes that club ever made, talking about Liverpool. But it is what it is. They're going to correct that mistake, sell the young man. They've already agreed with Al Hilal to sell him for £45 million. And if they add the money they sold Darwin Luis Diaz to that, and of course, at least they should be able to at least table 120. 120 is decent, but it's a lot of money if you ask me. But on a good day, Alexander Isak should not be anything more than £80 million. But he has proven himself in the Premier League. He plays for a club side that is going to the Champions League next season, and they want to keep him. So all of these figures makes it a lot of difficult situation. And Isak is still a little bit young. He still has like 3-4 seasons to still play at the top level, and he wants to play in a club side that will guarantee him options of winning big titles. Talking about the Premier League, the Champions League. Imagine those number of goals he is able to score them at Liverpool. He will be in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or, for the conversation for top awards, for the Premier League Player of the Season, and so on and so forth. He will take away the responsibility from Salah, who is on his way out. He might be the big thing when Salah is packing his bags at Liverpool. So I understand the situation, but it's a very difficult situation to find yourself. Talking about for Alexander Isak as far as that situation is concerned. But time really fast spent. We'll have to wrap it up here. Big thanks Ikechukwu and Maiwa for being awesome on the show. Congratulations. Sesko has chosen that he wants to join Manchester United. I wish you all the best because Newcastle wanted him, but it looks like he preferred Manchester United. All right. Big thanks to you guys who made it awesome. Talking about the likes of Victor, not leaving out Alex, as well as Jeremiah and Hassan. My name is Jerry Apelahai, saying thanks for being a part of the locker room. Up next is Political Lens with Chukwuma Okoro. Stay tuned.